be smart, books first, and then the 7 B's for girls. Apply that, guys. The prettiest girls getting pregnant, and then you're like, what the flip? And then when or she rejected you, what if she never rejected you and you were the father now?
I mean, Tertiary, I think there's more freedom, and it's more of not what you're told to do, but what you decide to do. It's more of independent, right? I mean, that's where you realize that whatever I do contributes to the result I get.
I think I chose the wrong course, and I only noticed later on that I don't like what I'm doing, but I had to stick with it.
This episode is actually inspired by the fact that you know it's for the person who doesn't know what the flip they're getting into, thinking that this thing is a walk in the park, bro. This is life, bro. I'm being for real. Happy Wednesday, you beautiful people. I hope you've been keeping things 24 and better than before. And yeah, welcome to this episode. And before we get into it, bro, I'd like to give y'all a round of applause, man, as I'm clapping my hands right now. I'm proud of y'all. Happy for y'all, man. You've done this metric and you finally made it. Welcome to campus. Whatever institution you went to, congrats, man. It's a tough road, I know, metric, blah blah blah. Yes, I'm not gonna remind you of high school, bro. High school is high school. Forget about that. But I'm not saying that you should delete your friends' numbers, but you'll get to see who stays and who leaves you. That's all I'm gonna say right there. And yeah, welcome to campus. I'm glad to hear from you. I'm glad to see you as well, bro, that you've actually made it. My sister, welcome to campus. This is the humble beginnings. Registration is always a frustration. So, skawar, things will be fine once school commences. And yeah, man, I hope you guys are well. I'm well. And yeah, welcome to this episode, man, whereby we talk about first year in tertiary. I remember this, man. It was okay for me. It was not like like I have to catch a taxi to go to campus. Nah, I had to catch a bus to go to another place, different province, and it was the best time. And yes, departing from my family was like, yeah, I didn't shed a tear, but they shed a tear, and it's like, dang, I had to see that. But yeah, man, with me, it's a matter of, I'm in a place whereby I don't know anybody. It was a strange location. I didn't know anybody, no family, no relative. The closest relative I had was like, in like I don't know how many kilometers, but then from that place to their place, I had to take a long distance taxi to get there. That was my closest relative. Other than that, I knew nobody, and my landlord was like my parent. And yeah, it was cool. She's a cool lady, and shout out to her, man, for giving me the spot. Shout out to her. Yeah. I was living in a commune with 5 dudes, and yeah, it was a blast, except for one dude. But that will be in the next episode, okay? That will be in the next episode. And yeah, shout out to that. And I hope the guys are also well. Also the 5th dude that I counted out. Hope you're well as well, man. Doing better than before, and I'm saying. And yeah, first year in tertiary. I'm away from my family. I am, in a place where I don't know anybody. And instead of being scared, I was actually excited, because it felt like a fresh start. My phone was not blowing up because many people didn't know that I would be away. I just went quiet, and I liked it like that, because taking high school moments and then dragging them along, and then no, you end up changing, like whereby you're like, damn, man, life is about to get serious. I'm in tertiary, yeah, I'm not wearing uniform anymore. Oh, for my foreign listeners, yes, in SA, South Africa, we wear the same clothes. Every student, black shoes, the same pants, the same shirt and blazer. You can't differentiate. If you send out a hitman to the school, bro, and you tell them the description, they won't know the target. We all look the same. So now we're wearing casual. It's tertiary moments. Things are fun, everybody looks like themselves, and it is so cool. Tertiary is just so cool. However, caution, caution. It's not a time to relax. It's a time for you to be an adult. I know, yes, majority of the people are 18 to 21 of age when they're doing the first year, and yeah, you're still in your late teens according to the stats and stuff, how people group people according to their ages. But however, like, you just have to be careful, guys. But then before we get there, tertiary experience, first year there, I loved it. I loved it. It was, even though it had its own failures, but it was fun. It was a stepping moment that, like, for me as a young guy, to be in a place where I know nobody and nobody knows me. I don't have anybody to talk to besides, over the phone. It was nice. I got to learn about myself, and I realized that I'm not actually a difficult person. I'm just a cool person who loves people. I don't care where you're from. As long as you respect me and you give me a chance to respect you and get to know you, boy, we chilled, we cool. We cool, and I realized that I'm not a tough guy to live with as well, and that is like a foreshadowing of the next episode. And keep your eyes peeled for that. Please follow us on Spotify and ring the bell icon. If you are on YouTube, hit the subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you guys never get to miss a chance of when we actually upload. And yeah, shout out to y'all. Okay, my first year in tertiary. Right now, I'm being serious. Um, I don't know how, but then for me, it wasn't as tough as it should have been, according to many people. However, not that I'm saying that I never stumbled or anything along the way, because like my first year in tertiary was a moment of like, okay, I know nobody, so it felt like nkare ke tsena grade 1 from, like, I'm starting from scratch, and I liked it, and I liked how people don't know me. I like the humility that comes with that. You're just humbled, and then you're like, oh wow, this is so cool. Nobody can shout out my name from afar. Nobody can, besides my roommates. It was just so cool. I loved it so much. Getting to know a different language from the language that I know. So when you get there, you realize that how you get to meet more mature people than people who aren't mature. Like, it's not the same, and maybe it depends on which institution you went to, but for me, it was just a humbling experience that I really love. I don't like things that are too much, and overcrowded. So it was just humbling, and it was so cool that, like, instead of me attending in the mornings, my classes were actually in the afternoon from like 2 p.m. until 6 p.m. And I was like, so cool. Like, you get to see high school children leave their school, going back home, and you are going to school. That is so cool. In the mornings, my morning routine would be like, you wake up, I would exercise, put on a jog, like run in the morning, and then high school children would look at me, they're like, what the flip? There's a dude who's wearing casual and they're running in the morning, they look my age, what the flip? And it was just so cool, like, and mysterious. You're attending not late night, but late afternoon classes, and it was just so cool and different. That, like, it's so different. However, it came with a bit of a uncalled event. It I took time to not took time to adjust, but then there came a point whereby you have to adjust. You have to adjust. So what I mean by that is that you're so used to this system of, like, you wake up in the morning when I'm a transport or taxi to go to school, and then whatever they teach you in class, blah blah blah, you come back home, and then gonna go homework. In tertiary, for me, it was like the opposite. Literally everything is the opposite. I wake up in the morning, dude, just open the fridge and eat, boy. Watch whatever, do whatever. Do many things. And then when it's like 2 p.m., dude, this is the thing, man. For some reason, I had classmates who were late for class, even though class started at 2 p.m. And lecturers were also defeated by that. They're like, what the flip, dude? You had the whole day, but yet you still come up late for my lecture. Like, what is happening here? So that's where you have to adjust to that timeline. You have to be responsible with that timeline, because, in the mornings, I learned that, okay, since I'm used to the system of going to school and then coming back at 2, and now it's reversed, how about I start teaching myself a topic ahead of the class? So in the mornings, I would wake up, maybe read one chapter of the textbook, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is this is that. When I reach class, things are easier. I tried doing that with every single subject except for one, because we didn't have a lecturer, and if he was there, we didn't have a textbook. I know it's confusing. That's the thing. in tertiary, ne, your lecturer is not your teacher. They are just somebody who's there to discuss a topic with you, and then they are done. They getting paid, they going home. That's how it works. That's just how it works, guys. Don't confuse your lecturers for your teachers. Yes, they can teach you here, there, but that's not their job. Their job is for you guys to discuss a certain topic based on the course that you are studying. Don't expect to be spoon-fed. Don't expect to be like held by the hand after the registration process is done. Nah, boy, you're on your own, literally. However, there's a strategy to this. This is something that I was aware of. In tertiary, whatever course you are studying, you have a chance of meeting people who are not exactly like you, but who have the same interests as you, the same goals as you, because the higher the APS score that is needed for that course, that means you're gonna be surrounded by people who are smart, people who have the ability to surpass their studying limits. And that is the people that I would encourage you guys to be surrounded by. Don't be blinded by people who are chasing them balis and the palisas. Boys, chill. I'm not saying no to grooving. I'm not saying no to dating, no to doing other things and throwing house parties. But please be responsible, because, in terms of liberation and freedom, you think that since you are away from your parents' house, or you are on campus for a specific period and you know somebody who stays at rest, so you can stay there with them, it doesn't actually give you the right to waste whatever time you were supposed to spend on campus with those people. That's what I'm saying. Be surrounded by people who actually are on the same path as you. Because trust me, man, college does get hard. University just does get hard because, bro, this is like the fundamentals of your own career. Whatever course you are studying, this is the fundamental. It's not like high school whereby the bell rings and then you guys have to go to a specific class. No, bro. There's no bell, bro. You have to know the time. You have to take it up in your mind. You have to be responsible. Don't be an idiot, bro. I'm being for real. I'm not saying no to parties. I say once again, because that will be another part of this, this episode. That is something else. All you have to do is also remind yourself of why you are there. How important your course is. Forget about matric, forget about high school. If you have the same pupils that in from high school in the same institution as you, I don't know. I never experienced that. However, please be aware of the things you do, with whom you do them, and be aware of how much time you spend on your books. I am serious, guys. I have people who it's their first year away from parents and stuff like that. And then to only fumble the semester or trimester over and over and over again. And it's actually a saddening thing, and also your parents sent you away for this period of time, hoping that you come back with good results so that they can tell bomalume le bokuku. To only find out that you brag or you're wasting money, rental money, you're wasting NSFAS money. Boy, those things are limited, boy. Just because they give you 10K for NSFAS, you think that it doesn't end. You brag. So I want you guys to be unlocked here, bros. Don't be an idiot. There will be time for girls. There will be time for the hookah, the truth. There's always time for that. But there's no time to study. The time to study is so limited. That's how fast time moves in tertiary. Bro, they can just overhaul you with assignments. They be like, do these assignments. We want them by this date. Bro, I remember my first year, I was in college. I never got assignments because you were on your own. It's like an independent cycle for some reason. My friends would always tell me, yo, bro, Dom, I got an assignment I have to hand in. They would always scratch their heads. They don't sleep at night. Why? Because you have responsibilities. No lecturer is gonna remind you that you have an assignment. No lecturer is gonna, give you a second chance unless you know how to bribe people. And bribery does work, trust me. Like you. So yeah, the humble beginnings are nice, guys. You are happy. You are new to this environment. New people, new girls, new guys, new everything, new behavior, new attitude. You are also changing as an individual. But beware for yourself, because that same person in the same room as you, in that same lecture as you don't know their circumstance at home. What if he's a rich guy, comes from a rich family, they can afford as many times as he can fail? When you are limited, you have limited resources. Be smart, books first, and then the 7 B's for girls. Apply that, guys. Do that, because also in first year in tertiary, I also got to experience the prettiest girls getting pregnant, and then you're like, what the flip? And then when or she rejected you, what if she never rejected you and you were the father now? What are you gonna say to your parents? You get what I mean? It's things like that, and these things happen. And just be aware of your distractions. Be aware of what's actually happening around you, bro. Unlock up here, bros. Unlock up here. And whatever you are studying for your course, please don't take it as a Krampus to forget. Nah, that thing comes to haunt you in the back. It follows you, bro. Study, understand what you're studying, know what you're studying. If it's not working out for you, you can drop out. This is not like high school whereby they keep it in the system. Well, they do keep it in the system, but it's not like high school whereby, you get a bad image that you dropped out. Nah. You can drop out of college or varsity and take a step back, take a gap year, bro, and come back a year later knowing that you are pursuing something that you personally are enjoying. Don't rush, because once the gates of freedom are open, you can do whatever, but beware, please, guys. Okay, guys, welcome to this segment whereby your opinions actually matter. So what happens here is that we go around asking people the following questions, and then they get to send us replies, and then we get to talk about it here, or we get to hear them out. These are the questions that were asked to one of you guys. It was, how was your first year in tertiary? Second question is, what do you wish you knew about tertiary before attending? Third question, what is the difference between tertiary and high school? Number 4, what is the biggest mistake you have made in tertiary? Then the last question is, how would you advise a new student about tertiary? Okay, so this one comes from Riabetswe. How was your first year in tertiary? She says, it was mostly an eye-opener. I realized how much anger, hate, and frustration I still carry as an open wound. And it can't breathe because I've never really paid attention to what hurts in the past. Living by myself for the first time was straining, but it was also an experience worth repeating. Happiness became a lesson every day because I was solely responsible for figuring out what makes me happy and what I am willing to work on to bring a smile back to my face after a long day of lessons. In short, it was a roller coaster. Hopping on to the next question, she says that everything depends on you. On days when you are emotionally drained, you still have to keep going, especially if you don't have people to fall back on when you feel like a failure. Whether you are unmotivated or highly motivated, you still have to push forward. And then for the third question, in high school, I had support from teachers and parents. There were days I would sleep only 2 hours, but I could do it knowing my mom would wake me. In tertiary, it's all on me. Whether I fail or succeed, I am the one to blame. Okay, the biggest mistake she has made is that giving up on myself. Sometimes you feel overwhelmed and lack the strength to face the day-to-day. If you have a support structure that calls, motivates, reminds you of your goals, and talks positively, you keep going. Okay, guys, on that one, it's kind of important. I'm not gonna lie. It's good to be surrounded by, things that keep you going. Don't let the stress overwhelm you to the point whereby you start going for other ways of distressing. And we all know what I'm talking about, bro. We all know. Hence I say, hence I always promote this thing of use, grooving and, getting wasted as a way of as an incentive to your hardship, but how can you do that? I think you can do that by, replace groove with good positive habits or ways of distressing. don't take your issues out on other ways of having fun. We all know that alcohol brings out the truth, right? So trust me, you don't want that. Find the people that you can speak to when you are in difficulty, in the most like you're down bad. Find people that you can talk to about it. There's students around you. I'm sure your campus has like some sort of counseling. They're supposed to have it. If they don't, then call your mom or something. I don't know, guys, but then find somebody to speak to. Find a classmate. Ask for help. Don't be tough, thinking that stress makes you look weak. We all need assistance one day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year. I'm serious, guys. And then moving on, how would you advise a new tertiary student? She says that don't let freedom get the best of you. Remember where you come from and never let peer pressure pull you off focus. Everywhere you look, there's someone offering a quote-unquote dream life, but a life that's spoon-fed will never give you the satisfaction that building your own life will. Never live off other people's expectations. Live for yourself and always believe in you. She's right there, man. I ain't got none on against that. I like what she said when she says that, remember where you come from and never let peer pressure pull you off focus. Everywhere you look, there's someone offering a quote-unquote dream life, but a life that's spoon-fed will never give you the satisfaction that building your own life will. That is important. Hence, I said to you guys that you don't know the circumstances of your roommate, your classmate. We all, literally tertiary guys, you never know because everybody is wearing casual. So, somebody's dripping, but, what if, the wallet is actually a drought? You don't know. What if somebody's not dripping, but then they have guys, be there for yourself. Don't be there for yourself. I'm serious. That will help you with a lot of things. And then moving on. And oh, by the way, shout out to Rhea, boy. We see you. Shout out to you, my sister. And yeah, glad to have you on the pod. The second one is from, this one is from a dude. They say that first year in tertiary, like I stated, started out crazy as I was fighting for space to get the school. But overall, it felt different compared to high school though. For the second question, I wish I knew how to apply in advance with colleges like TVET since space is literally limited. For the fourth question, the biggest mistake I've made is that I slacked off and rejected great opportunities to move forward. Guys, bro, I'm being for real. Word wakker wees, bras. Serious. Guys, wake up. Like, bro, I'm serious. Tertiary, ne? His nip up in fleece, bro. Like, bro, I'm serious. And like this thing of like, we are just going to tertiary just for studying. Guys, gotta drop that mindset. You're not doing this for your parents. You're not doing it for anybody. You're doing it for yourself and your career. If you have a child, you're doing it for your child and yourself. I don't know how I can put this, but this mentality of like, you are going somewhere because people are going, drop it out. You are going there to study because your parents want you to study, drop it. I'm serious. This is the type of things, you have to prepare your mindset for what is about to come. Because after tertiary, immediately when you leave campus, where are you headed? You headed to work, bro. So whatever you are learning, whatever you are doing on campus, it's opening doors or showing you doors to opportunities. The moment you think that you are there just to be a decoration in a lecture room, bro, wake up. Please wake up. I'm serious, guys. Like I'm serious. From make me happy. Please make me happy. By doing yourself a favor of like knowing that the moment I'm on campus, bro, I'm not saying no to fun, but then know why you're there. Know the type of opportunities that come with while you're there. I'm serious because like, bro, I mean, guys, I'm serious. I've seen a lot of things, bro, and some things I cannot disclose around here. For the fifth and final question, I would advise the student to not quit tertiary and keep on moving forward because graduation is always near and they could be what they wanted to be from day one. Exactly. Shout out to the boy remaining anonymous. We see you, bro. Shout out to you. Thank you for the response, bro. He's right. 3 years, Kosia 3 years, 4 or 5 years, that's nothing, bro. Time flies, and time flies. And it gets harder, trust me. And I haven't graduated yet. I'm still around the campus level, I'm just telling y'all what I know, and I just want the best for you guys. So he's right, bro, know why you're there. I'm serious, guys. I'm serious, bro. And then moving on to the next one. So this one is from Kanye. Shout out to Kanye, my sister. We see you. Shout out to you, the Vivis and the Vavas. Thank you for putting in a response. It actually means a lot to the podcast. And yeah, Kanye's not a stranger. We all know her. Shout out to her. She says here, for the first year, it was weird. I wasn't familiar with the concept of uni at that time. I didn't know what I was doing. I was on my own. And then for the second question, she says that, you are definitely on your own. And then Kukala, I barely remember what happened in high school. I thought matric was hard. Little did I know we had it nice. In uni, it's on you to manage your time and your schedule to fit everything. And then she says her biggest mistake is not socializing, thinking I can do everything by myself. See, guys, bro, gotta wake up, gotta log in, boy. Muna, if you need help, boy, ask, talk to people. You don't know. Kanye says that for the last question, you should have fun. Discipline is key. Socialize with big capital letters. And then she says that 50% is not a distinction. Bana manga. Also, no amount of tips for first year's videos can ever prepare you for uni. She said it. I can help you. Now I'm just talking to you about it. I'm being for real. All I can say is that, guys, do the right thing for yourselves. If you're struggling, ask for help. There's nothing wrong with that, dude. I've made that mistake. I won't lie. Whereby, you don't know what the heck is going on around you. And, you are fidgeting and stuff. Bro, cut that. Ask for help. When you don't know what's 1 + 1, there's nothing wrong with that. Ask. Shout out to Kanye for sending in that response, girl. We see you. Hope you're having a blessed day and a happy Wednesday, by the way. The next opinion came from somebody named Cupcake. Shout out to you. We see you. Hope you're well, having a wonderful Wednesday. Keeping things 24 and better than before. My first year at tertiary was very interesting. I actually learned a lot that I didn't know. I saw some strengths and abilities that I didn't know I had. I experienced a lot of things, but I got to overcome them. It was a very challenging year at tertiary, also considering the ups and downs I had in life, studies, and financially. But it was also nice and interesting. And then for the second question, Cupcake says that I wish I knew the challenges it had so that I could prepare myself. Bro, same here. I wish I knew the same thing, but no. It's nip up and please, bro. Like anything can happen, And for the fact that she mentioned that, finances, life, and studies, they all can have ups and downs, bro. You can be locked in on the books, ne? And then for some reason in your personal life or whatever it is, something can just go wrong, and then that happens. It's not balanced, bro. Tertiary is a mix, ne? Because let's not forget, we are currently entering the adult space, and when things are like that, wahola. So then that means it's like it's a battle everywhere. You can study all you want. Your lifestyle or your personal life can come in and be like, hey boy, man, I need your attention. Your finances can be like, hey boy, kasho tamuna, 1, 2, 3, and then we all know what happens. So those things are normal. However, you gotta keep your head up even when the road is hard. Never give up. Shout out to Tupac Shakur right there. For the third question, she says that firstly in high school, it is much more structured whereby teachers guide you. They literally help you, whereas in tertiary, you have to be much more independent. Learn how to manage your time and more, and how to push yourself to do something. In high school, in high school, you focus mostly on academics. You do not have that much accountability. In tertiary, you have to handle your finances well while balancing study and adult responsibilities, basically. In high school, you have a group of friends. In tertiary, you meet different people from different backgrounds. Diawua. Diawua. Diawua, guys. Gotta lock in, boy. Know where you belong, bro. Don't force yourself to be around people. I'm just saying. I'm just saying out there. Know where you belong. Stick with the people that you know that they can benefit you and they can take you where you wanna go. Just because somebody's dressing nice, that don't mean that they can do something nice for you. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, bro. Gotta lock in, boy. Oh, for the fourth question, she says that my biggest mistake was giving myself the mentality that tertiary is easy and not really managing my life well, doing multiple things at once. Bruh, I've been there, done that. Bruh, I've been there. Like, guys, I've been there. It's not true. Like, I don't know what happens. I've been there, made that mistake, and it cost me, like, I think a year of work. For the fifth one, she says that the best advice she can give for a new student at tertiary is that get organized, prepare yourself physically, emotionally, and mentally. Attend orientation, learn how to manage your time wisely, ask for help, explore, and adapt. Most of all, do not forget to put God in everything you do. Shout out to that, bro. Shout out to that. Cupcake, we see you. She's right. Like it's like 50%, actually, not 50, bro. I think 75% of everything she mentioned, I can relate with it, bro. It's, hey, guys. TVED, uni, same-ish, different level of education, bro. Same thing, man. For the last text that we received is from my boy. Boyki says here, it is hard for me to describe my first year of college because it was such an overwhelming experience. Everything was new to me. The social setting was completely different. And at that time, I was still fighting an internal sexuality conflict. First year was just a lot. For the second question, they say that everything you think you know about high school, forget it. Tertiary is not high school. High school, you still have your teachers following you around, making sure you study. Tertiary, you won't get any of that. You have to be disciplined on your own. Facts. For the fourth question, the biggest mistake I made was to not allow myself to be me. I didn't give the person I was then the opportunity to be themselves fully, and I regret that. For the last question, they say that enjoy the experience, have fun when possible. However, don't forget that education is the main reason you are there. Everything else comes after. Boyki, my man, hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. And yeah, man, I wish somebody told me this, when I started my first year, bro. Okay, guys, that's all for the opinions that were sent via text. And then right now, I'm just gonna let the VNs roll. And then from there on, you guys will take a listen as I take a listen. So this one is from Kuto. Shout out to Kuto, boy.
How was my first year in tertiary? Oh man, everything was so different. Like everything was so different. School, people, teachers, school system. It was really hard to get used to it in the beginning because everything was nice. And in high school, man, everything was nice, calm, smooth paced, and the teachers were there for you all the time. Now when you're in tertiary on your own, you have trimester exams, assignments in a short period of time, and the lecturers don't really teach you to that much detail. It's only scheme module. Hey, my first year was I think it was just difficult to adjust. And the work itself was different to what I was used to in high school. So it took a lot to adjust to the first year. I think the difference between tertiary and high school, man, it's more solid, man. Like it's well structured. to a point where you're not on your own, man. You can always ask for help. You but out to say in any way, things will work out if you really want them to. And you can trust your teachers as well. Tertiary, man, you can't trust no. I wouldn't say you can't trust nobody, but everyone there is looking out for their own. You can find friends, but not all the friends you meet will be good people. So I think in plus in tertiary, that peer pressure thing doesn't really work. Like that thing of having the latest phone, new shoes, everybody just wears what they wear, uses whatever phone they use. There's no peer pressure with that compared to high school. Peer pressure in high school is really bad, like bad. What's the biggest mistake you've made in tertiary? I think I chose the wrong course. I chose the wrong course. And I only noticed later on that I don't like what I'm doing. But I had to stick with it because I already began that course. When you go to tertiary, man, focus on your books. Focus on your books. Prioritize your studies. The outside life, the parties, the drinking, those should be the last things on your mind. Focus on your books, because the pain of failing in tertiary, because imagine failing a year module. You have to come back a whole year to redo a module. Like guys, no failing and friends. It's important to meet the right friends in tertiary because meeting the right people, because you end up outside classing, outside the assignment, outside attending, always out there drinking, smoking, or busy kamjolo. So I feel like having the right friends, a right structure around you, a supportive system, it's a sharp.
Yeah, always. Thanks you for your kuto, man. He's right. Failing, Rafid, he don't think that you won't fail. And don't think that failing is nice or you think that it's fun. Guys, tertiary diabua. One module, failing one module sometimes it hurts, man. You're like flip one module. Because now that you are adding more work on your plate, boy. Kaloi, focus on them books, guys. As he said, you had the man. I ain't got time to. I'm not gonna add more, boy. Maraya, finances, boy. Especially if you are under NS first and Satlaba. NS first can be like, boy. Why? What are we funding? You're wasting money. You could have given it to Sipo there. Sipo Tama Haing when Wabala. Log in, guys.
How we are in for school? Okay, for me, I think it was a really good experience. We get to meet like-minded people, your peers, your mature peers, by the way. So for me, it was really an interesting experience, and I really enjoyed it. No lies, it was a really good one. Then secondly, what do you wish you knew about tertiary before attending? Okay, to be honest, everything that I experienced in tertiary, I actually anticipated. So which means by surrounding myself with people who went to tertiary before, they told me what was happening. So when it happened or whatever thing that I experienced, I was like, this is what they were talking about. Understanding referencing, understanding that you have to. Thirdly, what is the difference between tertiary and high school? I mean, tertiary, I think there's more freedom and it's more of not what you're told to do, but what you decide to do. It's more of independent, right? I mean, that's where you realize that whatever I do contributes to the result I get. Unlike high school, whereby whenever you make bad decisions, there's somebody who leaves you accountable, there's somebody who puts you in line, right? But in tertiary, I think it's more of if you mess up your life, it's you. If your life becomes crap, it's you. It's like everything pointed towards you. So I think that's the difference. Tertiary says you're responsible for your life. High school says, I think high school just says, just work on discipline and listening to your teachers. I think that is what high school is saying, right? As much as we get to experience different things, but it's just saying, oh, there's at least for your teachers, they actually care. When it comes to tertiary, they don't actually care. They're here to do their job, give as much knowledge as they can, and go about their day. Then the fourth question, what is the biggest mistake you have made in tertiary? My biggest mistake? Hmm, I don't know. To be honest, biggest mistake. We all make mistakes, but I don't know what big mistake I made. And not even academically, man. I don't think I made a mistake academically. To be honest, I'd love to think none, but at this moment, I can't really think of a big mistake that I regret doing in my first year. I really can't think of it. Unless I come up with an answer later. But at this point, no, I don't remember making a big mistake. And lastly, how would you advise a new student about tertiary? All I want to say is, if you are a reader, man, tertiary will be so simple for you. Like if you were a reader before you got into tertiary, it will be the most simplest thing you ever do, because what you do is read, research, apply. And if you have built the habit of reading, I mean, I see it with a lot of students who haven't made reading a norm. So when it's time for research and when it requires you to read deeply, they get bored and they're trying to find the shortcut, but it's not possible. You just have to go through it. You just have to go through the bottom part, the tedious part. So I'm saying if you could get used to reading, make the habit of reading, and what else? I think you should also self-educate on the side. Don't just rely on tertiary education. Learn things on the side so that whenever you have a conversation in a class or debate, you can pull statistics or you can pull any source that you read outside the curriculum. Because by the way, we're all reading the same material and whatever you say, everybody knows. So if you can come up with something different, a new way or a new perspective of doing things, I think it will be perfect. So yeah, that's my overall view on tertiary.
Yeah, okay. I always shout out to Mutseba boy. We see you. Appreciate the response, man. I think I find it valuable. Find it very valuable, and I like the perspective. Beautiful. It's beautiful. I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday, bro. Keeping things 24 and better than before. If it's not a Wednesday, hope you're having a wonderful day, boy. Yes, sir. And when the boys smile, and just know, man, it hits the heart, man. Always, bro. Then the next one is from another one, boy. She's not new around here. Spacey. How. A beautiful gift. Let's go into it, bro.
So my first year in tertiary, that was nice. It was a new experience. You're excited to be in charge of your own life. You feel like an adult, can make your own decisions. It's very nice. Very nice. Sorry. What do you wish you knew about tertiary before attending? That it's easy to fail. It is very easy to fail. One moment you're up there, the next you're down there. It is very easy to fail in tertiary because you think that you know it all right, but you really don't. You really don't. And if you go to tertiary with that thing where I man, this is easy work. What? Yeah. Who's ocean fan? You're gonna burn. Difference between tertiary and high school is that high school you are treated like a baby. You are being pushed to study. You're being advised to study. But tertiary, no one really cares. Even the lectures, they just read the textbook. Then it's exams. You have to make sure you pass. You have to teach yourself actually what is being said in class. Yeah, and you must put effort. You must study. The biggest mistake I made in tertiary, um, it has to be procrastination. It has to be procrastination. Oh my gosh, I procrastinated a lot when I had to study. I procrastinated a lot. Then comes the time for exams. Then now I have to work under pressure, and now I'm not really learning. I'm cramming because I'm writing tests. I mean, so I'm cramming the work instead of understanding what is happening there. So I think a lot of people are dealing with procrastination. I don't know how we can fight this thing. I'm still dealing with it now, you know. So yeah, I would advise a new student about tertiary is I mean they should enjoy tertiary, but they should not forget the goal. The reason why they are there is to learn, to get something, go out there, get a job, and live your life. But if you go there with the mindset that no man, tertiary is easy, I'm just gonna what's this, fly through it, get friends. It's not really about friends. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Yeah, it's just that.
I do. Don't worry. Don't worry, bro. I got you. I got you. Everything she said, bro. Procrastination is another one. You know, if when I go high school, you like putting your homeworks to do them late night, and then the next morning you copy it off Tato. Boy, there's no such thing here, bro. Guys, focus on them books, bro. Trust me. Trust me on that one, bro. It's crucial, bro. And I know we are all human, and it gets tough. We wanna procrastinate, wanna take that break, wanna watch that 45-minute episode. Calm down, bro. Books first, bro. 5 minutes of reading one chapter or one paragraph. Better than nothing, right? Okay, guys, so those are all the VNs and the opinions that we got. And I'd like to say thank you to everybody that actually tuned in and actually sent in their replies. So how can you send your reply? Thank you for everybody that sent in their text messages. Thank you to everybody that sent in their voice notes. It actually means a lot to the pod, man. And yeah, man, I'm gonna hop into the segment of what is my biggest mistake in tertiary. This is my biggest mistake. It's not girls, it's like literally what I've been pursuing actually came to bite me in the nyash. On my side, I was so focused on books so much that my way of studying, that method, I was so strict to it that it actually messed up my grades. With studying in tertiary, be open-minded. Be around people who are doing better than you and ask them what the flip, how you guys achieving these results, how you guys like able to push this amount of hours of studying, how you guys being able to do this and that. Balance yourself and better your studying methods, because I made a mistake whereby everybody was studying with past papers, and now what's on it, like that is not my way until like it came to bite me. With the lecturer that we didn't have a textbook and he wasn't present for the lecture. It was, I kept on asking myself, he kept on sending slides, I kept on studying those slides, but I didn't understand what the heck was going on. And then there were in that class 3 out of a class of like 20 passed. And then I kept asking myself, how did they pass, dude? And then they kept on telling me past papers. And I was like, past papers? Let me check that out, dude. When I looked at them, I'm like, so basically they're studying the memo. So like kind of cramming. But then back then I didn't know how helpful that was. So I was like, dog, kinyaga textbook straight. But there's no textbook, you understand? So I was like, hey, Joe, you're stuck. And then I failed that course. I won't lie, I did. And dismally, like, it's like he didn't even try, dude. It was bad, guys. And then I was like, yo, boy, what's happening? So then I was like, nah. Then I got distracted personally, whereby I was like, nah, boy, school fees were killing me and I didn't have much going on. Then I was like, maybe I should get a job. And I was like, nah, boy, a job is gonna drain me because I'm a full-time student. And I was like, damn, what do I do? So then your boy, like, I opened a side hustle on the campus, made a few bucks here, there, and then it was nice, yeah, it was nice. But then at the same time, my education was kind of fumbling, and I was like, dang, bro, what do I do? I have the money to pay the fees, but then why, it's like you have the money to pay, but then the moment you pay doesn't mean that it's the last time you pay, because wela morao, you go pay, wela morao. So then I was like, dang, so please, guys, surround yourselves with people who know what they're studying for and how they're studying. When you don't understand anything, speak to your lecturer, because They are not a teacher, as I said, but then they know what the heck is going on. They should know beyond the textbook, because why? They studied whatever module that is. They know the module in and out, and they've been repeating this lecture, quote unquote, for over 10 years or 5 years, dude. There are people who are veterans on campus. And yes, guys, this is another one. Stay away from SRC members. I'm being for real, kajala. But then SRC things have, okay, as much as SRC is helping the campus and helping you guys as students, don't involve yourself as if you are a politician. Step away. Skapapa. Whatever is happening, it's happening. When the campus is closed, use that time to study. Use that time to better your studies, bro. I'm being for real. Because I've seen so many students messing up. They join these petitions, they join these strikes whereby the school is closed. Every single morning they are there. That late student who's always late for class, he's there in the morning to strike against the school. But when it's class time and writing tests, he's failing. Guys, please unlock. Bro, I'm telling you, my sister, bros, and then another thing, with girls that I realize in tertiary is that things end up being too much for them to handle. What I mean is, the most focused girl in high school gets to be the least focused girl in tertiary. Why? It's the freedom that they have. They meet guys who, a guy is balling, dude. The guy is driving a car, a nice car, and he passes campus every single day to scout the girls and then pick up the girls, take them to res. That little relationship, in the long run, bro, and then the guy, he's like a deadbeat guy. You don't know. Or maybe you end up fumbling your studies, and then, because why? There's too much distractions around them. So girls, be smart. Be street smart. Don't be book smart, fella. Kalohanya. Ube clever, Joe. Please stay away from dilo tsa ko strateng if you ditlo palla. And then let's talk about groove life. The nicest part, right? It's not wrong, ne? But it's wrong the moment whereby when you are prioritizing it over your studies. I would say that, challenge yourself to use these grooving moments as a moment of reward. Use it as a reward system for yourself. Because that will actually, you are training yourself to be like, if I don't pass, I get say go club what. I get my lima jita ko kai again with this. You want to learn? Balance that. Use it as a reward system. Because the moment registration process is done, le cheat ko rumung omongara jo kutlile kai ba betha kai joring liar, you go there, it's nice, it's fun, and then it's a repeating cycle every Friday. Especially NSFAS, it's any rekitling. These club owners know NSFAS rekitling. Joe, it's gonna be packed with students, and very when you're a student, why shouldn't you not go? You go there, and then to only find out Monday Monday out of all. Even though Groovile Friday, Monday what's in. Obviously Saturday lo no happy. Why? Because then sababi. Sunday we lang lo no happy. Why? It's a chill day. Monday it's class time. Dilodi at an idea. Guys, be street smart. Hang. When you're in tertiary, it's not like high school whereby they're gonna hold your hand. Mutomong lomong is looking out for themselves, and everybody's looking out for themselves, and you should do the same. Prioritize yourself first in tertiary. Know what you want. Go get that. They will follow. Also guys, please be street smart. Wake up here. Forget about the things that you see on your phone, bro. That is just entertainment. That entertainment won't be there when it's time to write that test, bro. Trust me. And by the way, this is something that is not actually talked about. The finances of tertiary are a lot. There's so much that even NSFAS kawiona, it does help, but then let's be honest, bro. There's so much. And how many students are funded by NSFAS and how many of their fees are completely covered, So if you are funded by NSFAS, please use that to your advantage. Suspend that chelete in chiko kumitlai. No. Use that money wisely. Benefit yourself. Benefit your studying methods. unlock your mind, bro. Unlock your mind. And like I said, when I said that whatever you learned in the previous lecture will come and bite you in the future, it will. Because why? After tertiary, it's time for you to hop into the field of the course you were studying. It's time for work. So imagine now you are hired and you've been cramming the whole time in tertiary. And then when it's time to work, you don't know anything. Dololo. Learnership, you are failing. Stabile. So guys, please be awake. And yeah, the advice that I would personally give to the first year student that doesn't know anything, that doesn't know anybody, they're in my position that I was in years ago, of like, you're in a province, you don't know anybody, you don't, bro. All I'm just gonna say is surround yourself with people that you wanna become. I'm sure somewhere around you, there's gotta be somebody who's doing something that you wanna do. For example, let's say you're studying electrical, and then there's ESCOM guys. Go ask them, Jorek, say, bona braga, bona, I'm struggling with this and this and this. Help me. But what to, sir? Because they know that they are working that job. They're supposed to know that. And there's a chance that they might help you. And guys, do not be afraid of your lecturers. Like if you don't understand anything, you can pause the whole class session and be like, like, make a plan for you to succeed, bro. Don't mess up. That's all I can say to y'all. And yeah, man, I hope you guys are well and keeping things 24 and better than before. And yeah, enjoy the first year, bro. And get one next year, second year. And shout out to the second years and the third years, bro, and the final years, bro. Proud of y'all. And yeah, man, I hope you guys are doing better than before as well. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one, and peace out.